Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Raymond Riley, and I'm here with Dr. Dawn Michael. We're going to talk about an article that was printed recently in Cosmopolitan magazine. The article was titled, "Do Most People Think About Someone Else During Sex?"
Is it normal to think about somebody else while you're having sex with your significant other? And what I will tell you right now is most people have thought about somebody else while they're having sex. And yes, it is normal. And in most cases, it's not a problem. But I think we'll get to a little more of that, right?
Well, when we consider this word normal, we realize that it's a statistic,
Mm-hmm.
right? And today, the reality is that it's very common for people to think of other people during sex, but also for their minds to just kind of wander and not necessarily be focused on their partner or the moment that they're actually involved in.
I think that's very true. I think when I'm working with couples, sometimes I'll have them come in and I will even recommend maybe you want to let your mind wander a little bit and not be so focused on the situation, especially if you're having a problem perhaps maintaining an erection, or if maybe a woman is having problems with having an orgasm and she's just so hyper focused on having that orgasm that I think letting the mind just drift off a little bit and think about something else that is arousing can make it a better situation for both.
So it's a little bit like having a special, safe, erotic place to go in your mind.
Absolutely, I would definitely say that.
What do you think about sharing those thoughts with your partner as you're in the act and you're thinking through them? Is that appropriate?
Hmm, that's a very good question because we have to be careful what we're sharing with our partner. So, if occasionally you're having a thought about something and maybe it's not a particular person that you had a relationship in the past, that might be something that you can share with your partner. But I think if you're having a reoccurring thought about an ex, you might not want to come straight forward and say, hey, I've been thinking about this while we're having sex. I think that might be a little bit too much.
Sometimes discretion may be the better side of valor with sexual relations. Is it sometimes appropriate then not to share with your partner?
I think that sometimes it's not appropriate to share with your partner, and especially if it's something that will hurt them or upset them, then you're not really being kind to them and taking them into consideration. So, yes, I think it's good to share fantasies, but sometimes if it's a really personal fantasy that you think that they might get upset about, I would definitely be a little more cautious with that.
Yeah, even 12-step programs kind of address that when they talk about the one step where they're into we make amends to other people except when to do so would injure them or others.
Absolutely.
So I think that's important to remember is that as honest as you want to be with your partner, we're all human and we have fragile egos and emotional systems that need to be nurtured. So it's important for partners to be aware of that and not overburden their partner with too much information.
Absolutely, because that could make the couple actually be more distant when the reality is you're trying to be more connected with your partner and you don't want to do something that's going to turn them off or make them upset when you're trying to be connected with them.
So it is okay. The thoughts are okay because statistically they're average, they're normal, they're right in the middle of the bell curve.
Mm-hmm.
But it might not always be the best idea to share this information. Keep it to yourself for your own private, safe, erotic space.
And one thing I want to add too, because I was also posed this question about when has it become unhealthy to be having these thoughts about maybe your ex or somebody that you had in your past. And one of the problems with that is if you find yourself each time you're with your significant other and you're having these thoughts about somebody else, that might be a red flag that maybe something's going wrong in your relationship, or that you might need to do something different sexually. But I would say that's a little bit outside the norm, and to really be aware of what you're focusing on, if it's like continually focusing on something other than your partner.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Dawn Michael. This was an interesting article. I hope some of your readers may refer over to the Cosmopolitan link and read through it, but your information was very helpful.
All right, thank you so much for the interview, and as you know, I believe everyone deserves to have a healthy sex life, and so do you. And also, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and please leave your comments.